What if the person you love the most only existed in borrowed time? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because this story will change the way you see love, loss, and the seconds we take for granted. And if stories like this move you, hit subscribe, because some feelings are too powerful to experience just once. It started with a coincidence so small, it almost didn't matter. A missed train, a spilled coffee, a glance that lasted 1 second too long. Ethan never believed in fate, not really. He believed in schedules, in structure, in the comforting predictability of numbers and plans. That morning in London, everything had gone wrong in a way that felt strangely intentional. His train was delayed, his phone had died, and as he stepped into a small cafe to escape the rain, he saw her. Lena. She was laughing at something the barista said, her head tilted slightly back, eyes half closed like she was holding onto the moment. It wasn't just her beauty, it was the way she seemed present, like she belonged exactly where she was. Their eyes met, and for some reason neither of them could explain, neither looked away. "Looks like we're both stranded," she said, gesturing to the rain outside. That was it. No grand entrance, no dramatic music, just a sentence that changed everything. They talked for hours. About nothing at first: coffee, the weather, the ridiculousness of train delays. But slowly, the conversation deepened. Dreams, fears, the strange ache of feeling like life was slipping by too fast. Lena had this way of speaking, like every word mattered. Like she was choosing them carefully because time was limited. Ethan noticed it, but he didn't question it. Not yet. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. They built something quiet and real. Late night walks along the Thames, cooking terrible meals together, laughing at things no one else would understand. Lena brought chaos into Ethan's carefully ordered world, and somehow, it made everything better. For the first time in his life, he wasn't planning ahead. He was just living. But there was always something just beneath the surface. Lena never talked about her past. She avoided questions about her family. And sometimes, when she thought Ethan wasn't looking, her smile would fade into something fragile. Temporary. One night, as they lay on the floor of her apartment listening to an old vinyl record, Ethan finally asked, "What are you afraid of?" Lena didn't answer right away. Instead, she reached for his hand, holding it tighter than usual. "Not having enough time," she said softly. Ethan laughed, brushing it off. "We've got plenty of time." But the way she looked at him, it wasn't agreement. It was something closer to goodbye. Everything changed on a Tuesday. It was raining again, just like the day they met. Ethan had planned something special. A small trip. A break from the city. He wanted to surprise her. But when he arrived at her apartment, the door was unlocked. Inside, everything was still. Too still. Lena was sitting by the window, staring out at the rain. She didn't turn when he entered. "Hey," he said softly. No response. He walked closer, his chest tightening with something he couldn't name. "Lena." She finally looked at him. And in that moment, Ethan understood. Not because of what she said, but because of what she didn't. "I was going to tell you," she whispered. "I just didn't know how." The words came slowly after that. Broken. Careful. A diagnosis. Months ago. Maybe less time than that now. She had chosen not to say anything. Chosen to live instead. To feel something real before it was too late. Ethan felt the world collapse inward. "You should have told me," he said, his voice cracking. "And then what?" she asked gently. "You would have spent every moment waiting for the end instead of living in the middle." He didn't have an answer. Because she was right. The days that followed weren't filled with sadness the way you'd expect. They were filled with intensity. Every second mattered. They watched sunrises like they were miracles. They danced in the kitchen. They said things people usually wait too long to say. "I love you." Not once. Not casually. But like it was the last time, every time. Ethan stopped thinking about the future. There was no future that made sense without her. There was only now. And somehow, it was enough. But time doesn't slow down for love. It doesn't pause for moments that deserve to last forever. It just keeps going. Lena grew weaker. The light in her eyes still burned bright, but her body couldn't keep up. One evening, as the sky turned gold and the world felt impossibly quiet, she pulled Ethan close. "Promise me something," she said. "Anything. When I'm gone, don't stop living." Ethan shook his head immediately. Don't say that. Promise me, she insisted, her voice barely above a whisper. Tears blurred his vision. I don't know how. You will, she said softly. Because we lived, really lived, and that doesn't disappear. He wanted to argue, to fight, to deny it, but instead, he nodded. Because loving her meant letting her go the way she needed. She passed away 2 days later. Quietly, peacefully, like a candle flickering out. For a long time, Ethan felt nothing. The world moved on, but he didn't. Days blurred together. The city felt louder, emptier, colder. Until one morning, he found something. A letter, hidden in one of his books. His hands trembled as he opened it. If you're reading this, it began, then I guess I ran out of time. But you didn't. She wrote about everything. Their first meeting. The way he looked at her like she mattered. The way he made her forget she was running out of days. You gave me a better feeling, she wrote. A life I didn't think I'd get to have. Ethan's vision blurred with tears. And now it's your turn, the letter continued. To keep going. To fall in love again, not because you're replacing me, but because you're honoring what we had. At the bottom, one final line. We don't live forever, but we live in time. And that's enough. Months later, Ethan found himself back at that same cafe. Rain tapped softly against the windows. For the first time since Lena, he smiled. Not because the pain was gone, but because it had changed. It wasn't an ending anymore. It was a reminder. Of love. Of time. Of a better feeling that never really left. And as he looked up, noticing someone new walking through the door, he realized something quietly, almost imperceptibly powerful. Life doesn't stop. And maybe, that's the point.